Owen and Anna had been married for 5 years, but were in no hurry to start a family. They believed that everything would work itself out in due time. Owen found one thing about Anna very amusing. Whenever she tried to tell a lie or an untruth, her cheeks would turn bright red like beacon lights, clearly and unmistakably indicating that she was being untruthful. He had discovered this unique characteristic early in their relationship when he had asked her about being late, and she had been unable to come up with a plausible excuse. This characteristic of his wife proved to be quite handy. With this bright indicator, he could always tell whether she was honest or not. As spring approached, Anna began to make hints and even begged for a vacation. She longed for warmth and a seaside climate. However, Owen did not like beach vacations, and the time at work did not allow him to take time off. Nevertheless, Anna's desire to go to the sea was so strong that waiting for Owen's vacation in a couple of months was out of the question. She had already started looking for hotels and looking at various water excursions. "Let Maya and I go on vacation this time. We can go anywhere," Anna suggested with a playful twinkle in her eyes. Owen knew Maya, Anna's friend who was also married. They even had a 6-year-old son, whom Maya could send temporarily to his grandmother's house if necessary. Maya herself wasn't much of a family adventure seeker, so Owen agreed to Anna's idea. He paid for his wife's tickets and hotel, and set aside extra money for excursions and other expenses. The wife packed all of her summer belongings into a suitcase, and on the appointed day, her husband drove her and her friend to the airport. Throughout the first week of the trip, Anna vigorously sent her husband pictures of stunning sunsets and scenery. His beloved expressed regret that he couldn't be there to enjoy the beauty with her. In the second week, the photos began to come less frequently as her husband was busy at work. Their communication was mostly limited to discussing the weather and plans for the day. Finally, the wife returned home, where her husband greeted her warmly. As they entered the apartment, she noted that the air was different, and then joined Owen in the kitchen for dinner. While they ate, she shared her impressions, mentioning that she wished he had accompanied her, since her friend sometimes made things boring. Later, she went to the bedroom to unpack her suitcase while her husband relaxed on the bed and watched TV. "Did you bring me anything?" he asked jokingly, grinning. At that moment, Anna stopped, looking at her suitcase in surprise. Her husband joined her, and they found a bottle of wine tucked into a brightly colored t-shirt. "I brought you wine," the wife exclaimed, holding out the bottle to her husband. Curious, he unwrapped the t-shirt to get a closer look. "Why is it wrapped like that?" he inquired. "The seller packed it that way so it wouldn't break while traveling." "I was surprised too, but decided to go along with it," she explained, laughing. At that moment, she leaned toward the suitcase, turning away from Owen. After a few seconds, Owen changed the subject and didn't continue the conversation about the bottle. When he was alone with his thoughts, however, he couldn't help but remember Anna's reaction as she unpacked the suitcase. He wondered why she was surprised to find the bottle among her belongings. How could she have forgotten about buying a gift? What if it wasn't a gift for someone else, but a surprise for herself, and she was trying to hide it? These thoughts raised suspicions in Owen's mind. He felt the need to investigate further. He decided to look for answers on the social media accounts of the hotel where his wife and her friend were staying. These accounts were used to attract new guests by posting pictures of various events taking place on the property. While scrolling through the photos, Owen came across one image that caught his eye. It showed a local entertainer entertaining a lively crowd. In the front row, he saw Anna and Maya laughing heartily. But what caught his husband's eye the most was the artist himself. He stared at the artist. He was wearing the exact same t-shirt in which the bottle of wine in his wife's suitcase was wrapped. At first, he thought it was a mere coincidence. There could be countless such t-shirts for sale in the city. However, Owen couldn't escape the feeling that it wasn't just a coincidence. The vivid memory of his wife's unexpected discovery combined with this image formed a disturbing picture in his mind. While on vacation, Anna became bored as Owen was not around. It was during this time that she met a charming young animator. As a result, she hadn't sent him a single new picture all week. Meanwhile, the wife was busy with a new artist acquaintance. Trying to make a pleasant surprise, he decided to give her a bottle of wine as a memento of their supposedly pleasant time together. Exhausted from a long day of work, he returned home in the evening, not paying much attention to his surroundings. Entering the apartment, he found Anna sitting in the kitchen, staring at her phone. "Hi, I was wondering if we could order," she began, but when she glanced at him, she noticed something was wrong. Without delay, he asked her the question that had been bugging him. "Tell me just one thing," he demanded. "Did you cheat on me during our recent vacation?" His wife's immediate reaction was a mixture of shock and anger. What the hell are you talking about?" she shouted in bewilderment. "Just answer yes or no," he insisted. "No, yes, I would never," she replied indignantly, but her flushed cheeks gave away the truth. He realized he had struck a nerve. In that moment, he questioned whether she was such a person, or perhaps the stupidity of her actions. Why engage in something that would inevitably lead to lies and a discovery as unpleasant as this? I suspect she believed Owen would never find out, but her lover had ruined her carefully thought-out plan. Without much hesitation, Owen made the decision to ask his wife to pack her things and leave the house. As she cried, it soon became apparent that he was struggling to control his emotions. Sensing this, she realized it was best not to provoke him further. She packed her things and left the house for good. He came to the realization that he could never forgive such a betrayal by the woman he loved. Therefore, divorce seemed the only way out for him. He was deeply hurt by the betrayal of the woman he loved. However, he realized that it was her decision, and every choice has its consequences. With limited funds, he had no choice but to rent a small apartment on the outskirts of the city. People in their social circle told him how much Anna regretted her action and the suffering she had gone through. Some even joked that she probably regretted not being able to travel so freely anymore. Eventually, Owen came to terms with the situation. He even saw some pluses in their breakup, deciding that it was a good thing that they broke up. He cited a past vacation romance with a friend's wife as an example of an unpredictable relationship, hinting that things could have been even worse if they'd had children.